Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Kim by Kynection webinar. My name is Vicky and I'll be hosting today's webinar. Today's session will run for approximately half an hour with time for questions at the end. Questions can be submitted at any time in the question box on the webinar's control panel. Our presenter today is Luke Simmons, who is the Channel Manager of Kim by Kynection. In this webinar, you will learn about Kim by Kynection, a mobile workforce technology platform which can be used to improve operational efficiency, deliver better outcomes for your customers, and achieve business growth. Kim is known as Australia's most comprehensive web and mobile platform to help manage field-based teams and integrate seamlessly with Reckon accounts hosted. I'll now hand you over to Luke for today's presentation.
Thank you very much, Vicky, and good afternoon, everyone. So we're going to go through a quick, short, sharp presentation on our platform, and hopefully we can have some questions and hopefully meet up with you afterwards. So what we're looking at here is using one system to streamline business process, and that's really what we're about with our product and our platform. And it's great for us to be a new add-on partner for Reckon, and yeah, we hope to really work with you guys and hopefully add some value for your customers as well. So what we're going to go through is a quick technology demo or presentation, and then we're going to go through the product, and we're going to do some Q&A and discuss how it looks to be partnering with us. So to jump straight into it, a little bit about us. We were founded in 2006, originally in the transport space, and since we've branched out to building services, manufacturing, and field-based businesses. And when I'm explaining to anyone who our client or target market is, I usually say to them, look, anyone you can see running around in a fluoro polo shirt, this is a kind of customer that we're looking to help. Anyone that's got a remote field-based team where they're having to capture data and send it back to base on a daily basis, that's really who we can help with. And as it stands, we've currently got 10,000 users throughout Australia from all these different types of sectors that are on our platform that use it every day to manage their operations. And what our USP is the one system approach, because what you'll see is we cover a very, very broad space within our application. So what it means is once you've integrated with Reckon, then because we cover off the operation side of things and the data, selected data is synchronizing into Reckon, you effectively don't need extra applications to run your business. So all these extra Excel spreadsheets and paper and standalone apps, you don't need that. You just need Reckon and Kim. I'll be happy to show you that. And also, the reason why we're successful right now is because we've got a real focus on business partnerships. And this is why we're doing this session today, because we want you to think about all the different challenges and issues and curly questions that your clients are coming up with. And basically, now that you know that our system is part of your stack effectively, we want to be able to work with you and partner up and deliver some outcomes for your customers that you probably weren't aware of that were possible beforehand. So our why statement. So what we do is we replace tired business systems, so paper and Excel spreadsheets, with what we call low-code, mobile-first applications and intelligent connected devices seeking to reduce administration by improving end-user engagement. So to unpack that a little bit, what I mean by low-code basically means is once the system is embedded within an organization, to make changes to it, they don't need to know how to learn how to code. We provide some training so they can make edits to forms and some of the workflows as they see fit. So we handhold at the start, but we really give them the keys to the car once it gets going. And when I say mobile first applications, our system has basically been built to be used primarily on the mobile phone, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a phone, Android or Apple. That's because these sit in the pockets of everyone. This is really the reason why we've made it so it's so important for you to be able to get full functionality out of your phone. And we also bring into the game intelligent connected devices. So for example, here's an Nfc tag all the way up to powered GPS tracking devices. So we'd like to bring these into the game where applicable for our customers. And also the key thing is about reducing administration and improving end user engagement. So this might come to a 5-step process going down to a 4-step process. Now, it might not sound like a lot, only chopping out one step in the piece, but if this is a repetitive process, and if this one step is quite time consuming, over time, this can add up to a significant amount. So this is what we're really about. We're trying to facilitate the workplace processes. So what I'm talking about here is digitizing business operations 2.0. Okay, so in 2006, when we first started speaking to customers about digitizing their workflows, when absolutely everything was on paper, everyone was like, oh, not really sure what you're on about there. And then we had to explain to them what it was about. So now it's different in 2020. We've got lots of companies out there that are using technology, but we still see lots of errors. And what I mean by that is that we might speak to some customers and they'll go, look, we don't need a project management application. We're already doing it electronically. We've got an app for that. Or we don't need an app for, we don't need you guys for your HR or your payroll because we've already got an application that's doing that. And the same goes for CRM, for assets and quality and safety. They've got their own apps to do that. However, because they're using separate applications to complete all these tasks, what it means is when it comes to reporting, it becomes a painful process because you're going to have to export out of the sales module into Excel or Word or an Excel, and also export your projects and your jobs and put it into a third-party application and mesh it all together to come up with your report. Now, it might sound great in principle because it's possible, but it is so time-consuming, and time is money. Let's face it. So the reason why we focus on having such a broad stack within our application is that everything is in the one place. So when it comes to reporting, it's a simple process as opposed to if you've got multiple applications running around. So and the reason why we're here today is to talk about Reckon, because we integrate with Reckon accounts hosted. And what this means is we can basically set up a custom pathway of integration. So whether you want to integrate your contacts, your jobs, your quotes, your invoices, of most importance is the timesheets. We do really well in terms of capturing reward rates, customer reward rates for customers or for workers, which can then push straight into Reckon once it's all approved. And things like equipment and people. So all of these things can be totally configurable, and our system will integrate every 5 minutes with Reckon, whether it's coming from Reckon to Kim or Kim to Reckon or vice versa. It's very, very configurable. So and it saves incredible amounts of time because once we get this working, then all of these elements can basically tie into the one system to Reckon and Kim, and everyone's happy. So if we jump into a demo of the product, okay, I'm going to go right in. So we've got over here's a web-based version of our application. You access this via a username and password, and the same goes for your mobile application, which can be operated using an Apple device, an Android device, a tablet, any kinds of devices. We can basically give you full access to the application, and also it works offline, which can be relevant for a lot of customers that are working in rural areas, remote areas, or even underground. Okay, so how it all comes together is that within the stack, we've got a whole bunch of different tools here. So you can see these tools up the top here. These are the core tools, and the reason why I've shown these ones down here is because even though these ones will generally meet 80% of the requirements for our customers, we build custom applications to sit off the side if they have special requirements that aren't met by what we've got. So scheduling devices, check-in, because once again, the idea is to have a single source of truth. So you've got your Reckon for your accounting, and then you've got Kim for your operations. And we basically want to make sure that the system fits them like a glove, and it can because it's fully configurable. So I want to give you a bit of a demonstration of the product to see how it all comes together. So you can see here we've got 38 contacts here, 38 contacts here. 650 companies here, 650 companies here. So you can see that the database integrates with each other. So if I jump over here onto this contact account, Ben, and once again, these contacts, these could be subcontractors, they could be employees, they could be prospects, they could be suppliers. So any kinds of contacts you want to have in your business, this is your database, okay? So as you can see here, so I've clicked on here, and once I'm on this page, you'll get an idea that we try and make things simple. So once you can understand how this contact page works for Ben, you'll see how it works for company pages and also for projects and also for equipment and plant, okay? So under Ben here, we've got here that he's got one task against him. He's got one project that he's tied against. And also you can see here if there's any invoices or files or notes against this person. And then once again, all the forms that this person has filled out, okay? And then you've got the contact details over here. So the idea is that our system becomes a digital manila folder for our customers and contacts. So if we jump over to Ben's contact on the phone, you can see that once again, it's a similar, it's actually the same content, but it's just displayed differently. So because there's less real estate to deal with on a phone. So you can see here, we use a tabbing system here. Okay, so the info, notes, and activities to view all the details around this person, okay? So if we go over to companies, you can see that once again, it is the same. So here you can see all the contacts that are associated with it, any notes, any deals, any forms, and the contact details. So as I was saying, once you get an understanding of how the contacts works and the rest of the site becomes really clear to understand, because that's a really important part of our software application. It has to be really clear and understandable to get from one page to the next. Okay, so if we jump in here, I'll actually show you what it looks like in practical terms. So if we're going on here and we are, let's imagine that I'm Ben and I'm part of this project, which is called the To Construct project. Okay, so once you click on here, you can go into the project of this page. Okay, so if I jump out there, I'll show you, because we've gone through contacts now. And if we jump over to projects, you can see that if you're a field-based business, a lot of our customers will run projects. Okay, and if your customers don't operate in projects, so to speak, and they might just use jobs or tasks, then this can be worked as well. But in terms of projects, for those that might have 12 projects on the go, and this is a waterfall diagram, so you can see where they're at in terms of whatever point in time you're looking at it. So I'm actually on the project here. Okay, once again, you can see all of the different details around the project. Okay, so things like the dashboard, so you can understand at a snapshot how it's tracking finance-wise, information about the project, things like plans that are really good, especially for our construction clients, so they can put things like maps of the walls to find out where the electrical points are, etc. And then scheduling. So it's a really good project management tool. So on here, we've got different milestones within the project, and within each of those milestones, we've got tasks. So this can be used for project progress claims. Okay, and then once again, all the activities and jobs, so you can get a good idea of where things are at in terms of a snapshot. And then once again, all the forms, any types of forms that have been filled in against this project. Because once again, it's really important to keep things in one spot. So now you can, once you've got the project set up, you can add staff to it, and you can also see how many hours they've actually marked against this project. So you can see here, Kynection Super user, which is me, 139 hours. Okay, and then you can also see what type of work they've done as well, which is all configurable. And then you can see drilling down in greater depth. So for hydro services, you can see that we planned 3 hours there, but based on timesheet data, we're up to 96 hours. So it's like, what's going on there? Okay. So we need to address that area. And then once again, you can put in projects against that company, that project, products against that project, I should say, and then also equipment can be allocated as well. Okay, so to give you an idea of in the day of the life, what it's like to actually use our product. So I'm on site, and I'm the supervisor here, and there's actually been an incident. So I want to jump onto, pull out my phone, hit the plus sign, and then go to form, because there's been a safety incident, okay? So we're gonna go here and jump onto the form, okay? So this is me using my phone right now. So on here, you can see the project is to construct, then the incident investigation. So this is the description of the form in this case. So once again, this is all totally customizable. So as you can see here, where the power of our product comes in is we can let companies enforce forced workflows on their team. Now, because there's nothing more painful than a form being sent back to base and it has been signed or the box hasn't been ticked, that's crucial, and it has to go back to site. It's a time waste opportunity, or it's a time waste scenario, which can easily be fixed by using forced workflows, as I'm showing here. So as you can see in red, these are all of the required fields. So I'm just going to jump through this form and start filling in some of the required fields. So they go from blue to red. And I'm just going to zip through this form. I won't fill everything. So you can see some of the functionality here. I'm just going to put some dummy text in there. And then I'll just take a picture. So here's a picture of Kai, company mascot. So what you might need to do is you might need to take a photo and then annotate it. A lot of our customers in manufacturing and trades use this. So we go, here's a spot here, here's a crack in the windscreen, and also this is the area as well. Okay, hit plus, and then that's saved to the form. Okay, so now I was walking and I fell on the ground and hurt my head. Okay. So this is really good for taking notes on the run. As you can see, I can make full edits of that if I made a typo or whatever, but it's really good at picking up the audio. So what we're showing now is some conditional fields, and this is significant because this is where we can set up these detailed forced workflows that generally sit in the heads of some people, and you can basically document it and put it into a standardized format. So was equipment failure a factor? If I'm going to go no, it's just going to take me into the next question, right? If I go yes, it then asks me to provide further details, okay? So you can be as detailed as you want with this. Our forms are totally configurable. So if, for example, you're filling in a form and you say there's a crack in the windscreen, once the form is submitted, because you've said there's a crack in the windscreen, it will then create a task for the maintenance manager. So any types of workflows that you've got, whether it's a leave request, goes to the HR manager, whether it's a sales meeting, this might go to the sales manager, for example. Any of these kinds of detailed workflows we want to go through with our clients, or with your clients as well, and basically go through the blank page, put everything down, map it all out, and then we can put it into a systemized format. Okay. So just going to keep filling in this form, just trying to get to the bottom now. Just going to enter in some dummy data. Yeah, lead investigator, me. Okay, so in terms of the rest of the functionality, you can fill in all the different types of forms that are calculated. As you can see, in terms of the swims, this is really big for anyone that's working medium to high level risks. This can be updated dynamically, which is powerful. And if we go down here, now you can see here, please sign. So now this is the last field on this form you need to fill in. So let's imagine that I haven't seen it or I can't be bothered signing it. So I just hit yes, I'm done with this form. I can see it's in draft mode. You can view the rest of the form, but now I'm just going to go submit. I can't submit it. It says please sign. Okay, takes me back into the form, and right in front of me is the section where you can sign off. Okay, so now we're at the same point. Right now, I'm going to try and submit it, and it's gone through. So in this case, we can basically set it up so notifications can be sent to designated workers. So if there's in this case, this is a safety form. This has actually been, this would be sent to the OHS manager in this case. Okay. Now, what's if for example, someone said to you, all right, now I want you to show me a copy of this form. As soon as it's been submitted, we're just going to go and have a look at this form. So it comes up really nice. You've got the logo on the right-hand side, the contact details on the left, and then here's the information, the title of the form, the timestamp, the location I was when I filled this in, took this all by my GPS data. And then you can see here, here's a copy of the photo. And I was just I was just putting all this content in on my phone, just bashing away, and it comes up really nice. So it's a big, nice selling point for the product. So, and the other thing is safe. It's a safety incident, and the work health and safety, or sorry, the work safe manager says, okay, send me an email of this form, and instead of having to go to the laptop and scan things and everything, you can basically just go hit download and then send it via email. Okay, so what's really powerful about this is that we've got everything tied in one spot. So if we look here, we've got 57 safety forms. So if I go and do a refresh, you can see this goes up to 58. So if we jump in here, we can see that here is a copy of the form that I was filling in. So it's already, if I submitted this form at 12 o'clock and 0 seconds and logged on here at 12 o'clock and 5 seconds, then this will basically be updated on the system. Okay, so in this case, you can once again, you can download a copy of the form, which come up really nice, and you can send it through as an email as well, or download the pictures. It's quite detailed what we can do. And once again, it's keeping it all in one spot. Okay, so it's really powerful. So if we jump from contacts, projects across to forms, you can see here, this is basically where all the forms are. So these are all the forms that have been submitted by us. So if we go on here, you can once again see the form. And then to actually give you a look at what the product looks like under the hood, if we type in incident analysis or incident investigation, you can see here, here's what it looks like at the back end. Okay, so when I say low code, if we digitize this form and you make you want to make changes to it, it's easily possible here. Okay, you can see these changes are live, and if you made an error, you just want to fix it up, which I'll do. I'll just go there. Okay, so it's pretty simple to add different bits of content onto the form. Let's say you want to add a signature, sign here. So now that's just been dumped onto the bottom of the form. So it's really simple. Okay, if you make an error, you can just get rid of it. Okay, so what's really powerful is that we can set up these workflows. So when a form is submitted, you can specify who gets notified. In this case, we've got Jonathan Patchell. And also what we can do is we can set up these complex workflows. So when, if a certain issue has been identified, then we can basically, using JavaScript, we can basically create these other tasks to be dished out to designated workers based on certain criteria. So going back to that example before, if a windscreen crack is identified, then that will basically become a task for the maintenance manager to address. Okay. So when I was talking about facilitating workplace processes, we try and, because if you go and have a look at my screen for a second, we've got these little Nfc tags. So what we like to do is, with a lot of our customers, we like to fix these around the place. So this can be used stuck onto plant or equipment, or even within the lunchroom. So in the morning, the guys get to work, they tap onto this using their key ring or using their phone, and then it comes up with certain workflows, whether they've clocked in for the day, or whether in this case, I've just tagged this to one of our pieces of machinery, so I've rocked up. Okay, you can see here, it's on the primal tanker. So in this case, it's a hit once, and I can do the form straight away. this tanker. Okay, so it's really powerful. These sorts of things. These are the types of solutions that we want to build for clients, because we don't want to change the way that they operate or the things that they sell and the services that they provide. We just want to make the processes that they use to complete these tasks easier. Okay, and using technology like this is one way of going about it. So we've basically got a very broad stack here. So I won't go into all of these. I'll be really keen to have a meeting with you guys afterwards to take you through in more depth. But we've basically gone through contacts, projects, forms, and then out of that we've seen jobs. And then by going in here, we can see here in terms of the maintenance. So I'll give you a quick overview here. So things like repeating jobs that you might have on the go. This is basically used for recurring maintenance for equipment. You can basically see all of your bits of equipment on a map, which is really good for maintenance managers. So within there, you can actually see all the utilization, all the costs, history, defect list. And as you can see here with my phone, I was basically looking at one of the primal tankers, which is one of the pieces of equipment. And the same goes for assets as well. But jumping over, because I know we've only got a couple of minutes left, just to give you an idea here, our system is a full invoicing system, so all the way from deals, so which is a lot like a CRM, and then we can work all the way through quotes, invoices, and even supports purchase orders and the catalog from Reckon as well. Okay, and the last thing I'll take you through is the timesheets. So a really key part of our application really comes to capturing time, and something that we do really, really well, really uniquely. So as I said before, we can have it so these Nfc tags are in place, so they tap to sign in the morning, but also if they want to capture time, these are the kind of workflows that we can have. And every company is different, so we do end up customizing it to some extent for everyone, but here is the generic look at it. So basically I'm on the timesheets page here, so I hit plus, I hit work, and then I'm going to put in which project this is for. This is for drywall. I'm going to do the security patrol. In this case, it's asking me to add it against a piece of equipment. So I'm just going to use this one. And then we're going to say how long I did it. It was 4 hours. Started at 4 o'clock. So there you go. That time has been listed here. So as you can see here, I've done two lots of 4 hours here, which equals 8. Okay, so now as it's been submitted, the managers can now look at this to approve it, and once it's approved, you can go to payroll. Okay. So as you can see, we cover a very broad space, and I guess the reason why we're talking to you guys is because we want to help you extend value to your existing clients. Any of the problems that they're dealing with, any of the curly stuff, even some of the stuff that's forcing them to go to other providers. Now that we've got our application that integrates seamlessly with Reckon, and we'd love to have some conversations with you about all the kind of customers that you've got that are currently using paper, currently using Excel spreadsheets, currently using multiple applications. Those are the kind of situations where we can add a huge amount of value and basically increase user reach, so you can get into more markets potentially, and also stickiness for your existing customers. As I said, they might have been thinking about going to other providers, but now with Reckon and our application together, it can basically be a really good partnership. And going through this in greater depth, you might have some really cold leads that you've got that said, speak to me later when you've got a better solution for me, or whatever reason. You can now go back to them with something new, and whether it's using Kynection as a means to get your foot in the door and sell your own services as well. We want to encourage that sort of thing, but yeah, we can really help invigorate cold leads, because what we can offer them is something unique, which is a single source of truth. Everyone is crying out for that. So working together, we can basically offer this, because no one loves manual entry. No one loves filling in forms. We can basically digitize it, so it's an easy process to capture data. You can get along with your job. And also, we can really increase sales value for you. So if you've got your existing group of clients, and if you add this as an extra element, we can go through some of the commission lines if you're keen on partnering with us, but it's essentially 10% on the setup and 10% on the licensing. Licensing is $55 per user per month, and the setup ranges from 15,000 plus. Okay, with that, I will pass back over to Vicky for some questions, and I hope you guys have got something out of it thus far.
There's no questions as yet. If anyone does have any, please submit them now.
Yeah, look, I'll just explain while they're typing in. So how we operate is that once we get an agreement in place, and after we obviously have a one-on-one meeting, when you've got clients that might require our kind of solution, what we do is we will have a joint meeting with you first, and then we'll bring the client in once we all have a shared understanding of how the solution can best meet their needs. And then we will do the demonstration for them. You guys can be involved, and then we do the work with the proposals and closing out the deals. And off the back of this, then you guys can get the commission on the side as well.
Thanks, Luke. Still no questions. So we might just end the webinar for today.
Yep. Yeah, no worries. And just before I end, then I just want to get you guys to or encourage you to all to have a look on our website. On our section here, we've got a Partner with Us page. So if you click on there, you can understand exactly how it works, and you can also browse through each of the different modules and industries and solutions that we cover off. And when you're ready to have a chat with us, then just go onto this page and just fill in the details, or just go onto the contact page here, or I think Vicky might share my details as well.
Thanks, Luke. If you do have any questions, please forward them on to training@reckon.com and I can pass those on. And if you'd like a recording, also just please email us. Thank you for all attending today. Thank you, Luke, for the presentation, and have a lovely day.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.